Welcome back to Shadows Over Loathing. I am heading back out to the Big Moist. I only have the one location that I went to briefly to achieve the one thing with the radio. I'm going to go back to there now because I just went in there, did that, and left. I didn't explore it or do anything, so I want to follow up on that and not forget to do that. Suddenly, a tuft of swamp shrubbery... Swubbery? Oh, because swamp, shrubbery, parts, and a gator man pop out glaring at you. He doesn't seem immediately hostile, but you're wary. Hello? Human! How human? Well, both my parents smell wrong, not human stink. Am I not fully human? Is this some mystery that we've stumbled upon? You smell basically normal as far as you can tell in a swamp. Dark stink, shadow stink. You know about the shadow stuff? Shadow good, good stink, like stink. Wow, this is a real roller coaster of a conversation. I follow, kill enemies, eat enemies, name Alphonse. Can I call you Al? No! Can you at least stop yelling? Rah! Fine. Alphonse has joined you as a companion. You know what? I've been enjoying my buddy, but I'm down to hang out with a gator man. That sounds sick. Take him with ya. Sorry, Professor, you're gonna have to wait at Isabella's. Very well. A mug of ale and and some rest will be welcome. Mercy on the... Oh, mercy. Not mercy. Mercy. That would be with an I. Mercy on these old bones. Continue on with your new gator friend. I'm a big fan. It's unclear if Alphonse is scowling angrily or if that's just how his face works. Hungry. Is it true that about the little birds that brush your teeth for you? Shut up! So, are you from this swamp originally, or... He gives you an incredulous look. Dumb question, never mind. Are gatormen the only talking animal people in this swamp? He gets a sort of wistful look. New possum. Good friend. Did, something happen? No joke? Dream marshmallow. Eat marshmallow. Wake up. Pillow missing. Okay, so he just ate his friend in his sleep. Oh, jeez. So, what do you gator guys do for fun around here? Kill. Eat. Apart from that, I mean. What expect? Macrame? Well, there's gotta be more to your culture than just killing and eating. Why? Alright, well, I think we've come to know everything that I care to about Alphonse for now. For now, it'll be a longer-term building of the relationship. Somebody's old campsite, and it looks trashed. Amidst all the garbage strewn about, you find a shiny 7/8 combination wrench with CW painted on the side. Charles's wrench. He dropped his combination wrench as a clue to help you find him. That's strange. Obviously this belongs to Charles, but he doesn't seem like the kind of guy who'd lose one of his tools carelessly, nor the kind of guy who'd leave trash around his campsite. You look around more carefully and discover weird tracks in the mud. Big, clawed, bipedal tracks. Maybe Gatorman tracks? And there's a spot where some kind of scuffle clearly happened. Ah, geez, well that tears it. Charles Wallace must have gotten kidnapped by Gatormen. Maybe he dropped the wrench on purpose to attract your attention. Hopefully, you can find him soon. Those damned Gatormen, Alphonse? You want to help us with that? A red fern. That usually means there's a lot of dog blood in it. Jesus. Get the blood. The hematic ichor. You extract the blood from the tiny fern leaves. This is just the good parts of some blood. I think I'll reach inside. The Shadow Milkshake. This is what you'd get if instead of a soda jerk, your local cafe employed a soda nihilist. Increase mysticality by 1 and AP by 2. That's like super strong. It's very, very good. Which of these come from like food potions? What have you? Right, the chaos chemicals. That's probably what it would replace. I'll worry about it later. There was this tape in the corner, I remember that. There are a couple pieces stuck to one of the bricks. Swamp water has leaked in through the hole and wetted the floor. Oh well, the days when these were your good shoes are already long past. I suppose that was maybe important before the fight or whatever that took place here. You don't know what this console does, but if it's any consolation, nobody expects you to. This is powered by weird, by evil, or at least weird. Wow, this is pretty cool. The nightstand keeps its lonely vigil. Where was the cool thing? What were we calling cool? Damn it. Maybe it was this. Maybe it's this thing. It also looks lightweight. You carefully pocket the zappy orb thingamajig. Glowy lightning ball thing. Can you believe this is a thing that was invented in the past and not approximately 60 years from now? I don't know if I believe it. There's a to-do list here with a single entry. Guard the radio equipment. You erase the check mark. Dig through the nightstand. Hey, whoever used to work here left their jewelry behind. A small jewelry box, which will come in handy if you need to move some jewelry from place to place and you don't want to wear it on the trip. You dump out the box's contents, which are so exciting that you forget to keep the box itself. The amethyst earrings, is there ham-based? 2 gems dragged from the earth of the old world on silver posts mined from the depths of the new. It's like the jewelry, I hate that word. Jewelry and brewery are both the worst. Equivalent of pizza, regenerates 3 HP per round. That's pretty good. And a snake tooth ring. The tooth is just a delivery mechanism. The venom is actually stored in the ring part. Is that how is that a joke about how that's how it works for snakes? Like, the venom isn't in the tooth, it's delivery. When you apply poison, apply 3 extra. Okay, well, I'm not really like poison based or anything, so I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, oh yeah, the help. I'll stick with that. That's like where my hobo friend came from earlier. It looked like there's like sparkles coming off the table, or oh, maybe that's the restroom door? Why is it so clean in here? Thankfully devoid of any broadcast features. It isn't important to look good if you're on the radio, so the sink has a first aid kit instead of a mirror. The radio people were probably saving this stuff in case anyone ever invents video and you have to go to war. Burtworth's finest tooth wax. It looks like a hamburger with a highway in the middle. It's a whole ball of prescription strength tooth wax, increases moxie, and mercury eye drops. This product is safe and effective and doesn't even let anybody tell you, and don't ever let anybody tell you any different. Increase mysticality. So many of these just increase a stat by 1. Like, so many of them are redundant. They're like the same as an existing item or just simply not better. I wonder if I was never gonna find... Well, maybe it was always set that I would find Alphonse first, and that I wouldn't be able to find other things until I found the wrench, because now I assume I'll start opening up the swamp area with new locations. Oh, right away. Alphonse is gonna start this conversation. I'm not sure if my other companions ever did that. Gruh? What? What? Uh-oh. You wander over to see what's up. Alphonse has discovered 2 burly men dressed in leather and furs, burying the body of a dead gatorman. Well, considering the swampy ground, they're less burying it and more just covering it in mud. Now, I know what this looks like. Also, word missing there. It looks like you killed a gator man, and I don't think my friend here is happy about that. Kill a gator man? Grah! Who cares? Gator man loser. This worse. Look more. Look more. You take a closer look at the body of the gator man before it disappears into the mud. He's dressed in some kind of uniform with an official looking cap and epaulettes, which I don't actually know what those epaulettes, and a big canvas bag. I genuinely don't know what that is. You mean kill mailman? Crime biggest. Destroy. Is it that big of a crime? I won't be that upset about it if he has a letter opener on him. The 2 men step away from the mailman's remains and into a clearing where they've set up a camp and small trading post. One of them eyes Alphonse murderously, while the other seems strangely serene. The Leather Brothers step forward into the clearing and confront them. Oh, we just head straight there is basically what that meant. Sure, why not? I got nowhere else to be. The plod splosh of Alphonse's reptilian toes draws all activity in the clearing to a close. A hunter tanning a hide stops and raises his blade. Oi! No gators! Get back! Get out of here, gator! Go on! Rah! Not boss! Shut up! Send Alphonse to the speakeasy. Just kick him out. Defend Alphonse. Alphonse is my business associate. Anything you can say to me, you can say to him. Anything, eh? Even the swear words? Sure. Lucky for you, I don't know any. When I was a lad, the vicar blackened out all the swears in our dictionary. Then we're agreed. Alphonse stays. I hope you're happy about that, buddy. You want to talk about it? Nah, he's got nothing to say. I do like this guy's, like, bald ring hairdo. I haven't seen that very commonly. Nothing to see there. Okay, well, that makes me think there would be. Careful of him, he might tan your hide. He's fighting against that other tanned hide. It looks like a gator hide, actually. Something to say about that dead gator? Swear I didn't know he was a mailman. Would never intentionally hunt a mailman. I never accused you of killing a mailman. I'm accusing you of killing a mailman. What's wrong with killing a mailman? That's true. Listen to yourself. Can tell you ain't a hunter, all right. Most any species is fair game for hunting, but mailmen are protected by international treaty. Last hunter I know who hunted a mailman got pulled up by the International Criminal Court and mailed to Mars. Is he okay? Obviously he ain't okay. Don't joke with me. That's the nightmare scenario for a hunter. Getting mailed to Mars. Sends shivers down my spine, it does. I never accused you of killing a mailman. Ah, hell, me and my big mouth. He was in my way, you understand. Had no idea he was a mailman. Never would have touched a mailman if I'd known. And my brother, he had nothing to do with it, understand? I swear it. Who are you? Me? Ain't much to my story. I'm a hunter, named John Leathers. And if you can't tell from the accent, I'm from Alboyne, which I don't know where that is. Probably the south. As a toddler, I hunted small game like mosquitoes and gnats, then moved on to foxes and voles and such as I grew up. I like the game over here, but I've got my eye on the greatest hunt of all. Say humans, but lick your lips. Humans. Humans. Big picture. I'd like to build a ladder to heaven so I can hunt the dinosaurs. That's more of a 5 to 10 year plan, though. I don't think that's how either ladders or heaven works, but I guess it's good to have a dream. Wouldn't it be more practical to build a time machine? Now that just sounds ridiculous. John wipes his brow with the blade. Jesus. Never been asked so many questions before. You give really lengthy answers, though. It seems like you're quite comfortable in this scenario. You can talk the talk, all right, but what about hunting the hunt? I got work that needs doing, but I ain't going out while they're searching the swamp for the sod who killed their mailman. They find me, I'm dead. You don't have to be a leatherman to know which way the wind blows. What are you asking exactly? Sure, I'll hunt for you. Yeah, tell me more. Working on something real important. A project. For that, I need 5 gator hides. I'll feel real bad taking Alphonse with me, but he really doesn't seem to care. Screw other gators. I guess they probably aren't really, like, they're pretty territorial, probably quite solitary. Even know a place you might find them. Scoped it out myself. Couldn't be easier, unless it was a smaller number of gator hides. I guess that would be easier, yeah. What's this project you're talking about? Not so fast. Need to know I can trust you first. Well, I better get going. I don't think I accepted the quest, though, did I? I guess I did. Any joy with those gator hides? Hope you ain't hiding them from me. I better get going. I did want to inspect that hide, but I guess it's not an option. A sack of genuine leather. It's empty. It's only made of genuine leather. It does not contain genuine leather. The ambiguity is clear now, and the person responsible for the original description has been sacked. Sacked like a sack of genuine leather. The bedroll must be where John accesses the hunter's dream. What's that? The hunter's dream. If you have to ask, it's not meant for you. I want to go there. If you prove yourself a hunter, maybe. Ooh, can we climb a ladder to heaven if we go get this guy some hides? That'd be quite the leap. Hunter's beans, a veritable hill of them. And you're the other one? It was leather and something, but I forget. The man observes you with monk-like serenity. Hi there, looks like you've set up quite the trading post here in the swamp. John shakes his head. Paul can't speak. Can't or won't? Don't. How'd you become mute, Paul? Now, that's a very personal question. I'm sorry. It ain't a problem. It's just a hobby of mine to make observations on the nature of questions. Basically, Paul lost his tongue in a poker game. Can we trade tongues? Oh, okay, gotcha. Condensed swamp gas. Imagine if Reader's Digest branched out into the sewer treatment industry. I barely see how those two things match up, but okay, I'll buy one. I have 2 crowbars. Gator Punch, like Gatorade. They drink it, but that doesn't mean they like it. Increase melee. Gatorman skin pants, not to be confused with Gatorman skin pants. Oh, skin pants versus skin pants. These are pants made of skin and worn by a Gatorman. You're not sure what kind of skin they're made out of. Yikes. The impregnable pickaxe apparently don't have one. A tool favored by miners for breaking rocks and removing hot dishes from ovens, trimming hedges, kneading dough, and catching baseballs. I honestly don't know how it can achieve all those things. Quite the versatile item. Powerful grits. With enough butter, anything is edible. I do love butter. Roll of duct tape, sharpening stone. Sure, I'll grab like one more of those. I'm not too worried about anything else he's offering at the moment. Paul acknowledges you with a phlegmatic nod. Gross. Phlegmatic does not mean full of phlegm, it means calm and controlled. So, say that then. Paul acknowledges you with a calm and controlled nod. I'll see you around. That was worth it. Want to leave this clearing? Not just yet. Wave to him? Can I just have a nice little wave? Okay, sure. I thought that was weirdly a new interaction. I do want to check out their house too. Wouldn't go in there if I was you. Well, why? Might not like what you see. I will be the judge of that. Yeah, I hate it. Turns out it's awful. The egg is busted. Told you it weren't a pretty sight. I was looking forward to eating that egg all day, and come dinner time, I only went and bloody dropped it. Sorry for your loss? I bet. What? Okay, that was it then. John Leathers tans a hide in eerie silence. Nothing to see there. Oh, that's where he buried the mailman. Yeah, of course. Okay. Right on a line. I guess I'm gonna go to the Gatorman village. I hope it's... No, I worry that would be too big. Too big of a next step. I don't know. You hear a commotion or perhaps a tussle or a good old-fashioned ruckus nearby. Investigating, you find that several vampires have a Gatorman pinned to the ground and appear to be trying to vampirize him. Rah! Hold still, won't you? His neck is all scaly and tough. Did someone bring a drill or a can opener or something? Hey, leave that Gator man alone. I won't stand for you vampires going around inflicting your undeadness or disease or whatever it is on innocent people. I think it's a disease. We aren't undeads. Not like a zombie or skeleton anyway. The last necromancer was killed decades ago. We killed the last necromancer in West of Loathing. Hey, stop that. Yeah, don't talk with your mouth full. I mean, stop biting the guy. Mind business. He volunteered. Anyway, I'm finished. What? Really? Drink blood. Power big. The Gatorman stands up with a terrible red glow in his eyes. Drink blood. Kill busybody. Jeez. We just inserted ourselves unwelcomely in the middle of that. Well, we almost killed the turned Gatorman before I had a chance to even see what his deal was. Well, I think I will just do away with you then. That's enough of all of that. Who is most killable? Yeah, I can... Well, it doesn't matter. I had a few options there. And the rest of this won't last long. You won! You could make a suitcase out of that Gatorman skin. Then you could have a suitcase that catches fire in the daytime to go with your one that catches fire at night. Hollow gator tooth. Vampirism does strange things to your teeth, and if your teeth were huge to begin with, there's a lot more room for strangeness. Deals muscle plus 5 physical damage and heals you. That's really sick. Condensed swamp gas. I just bought one of those, didn't I? What a waste. Well, apparently that doesn't count to collecting Gatorman's skin. I don't know, I guess I'm just gonna go to the village. Whatever it was called. A flash of light cuts through the trees. The glare passes, and then you see it, poking its head out above the canopy. A telescope. Why, you fancied a telescope ever since you were a young boy. You'd press your nose to the window of the telescope shop for hours until the proprietor would run out and threaten to tan your glutes with a tripod. We've seen at least one telescope before, and we never revealed this dream of ours then, and I still want a telescope. And you've waited long enough. Go and get your telescope. Alright, that's what I'm going to do now instead. We got all worked up about it. How could I possibly refuse? Make like a tree, grow roots, and stay here forever? No, I'd like to leave. A bald cypress so tough and tall, it's no surprise some fellow has chosen to make it a tree home. I assume he wouldn't want to talk about this very random thing. Shout on up. Hey, mister, why'n't you keep walking, huh? This here's Will Hunter's treehouse, and the rules is tain't no grown-ups allowed. Buzz off, kid, it's my treehouse now. Go suck eggs. What's your story, Will? Treehouse, more like a leave house. What's your story? Tain't much to tell. I ain't all that interested, mister, I swear. Not to city folk like you, no ways. I'm not city folk. Never seen a pig birth? Yes? Bet you ain't seen half as many as me, though. How many pig births have you seen, Will? Well, I reckon about 70, sir. Well, that is quite a lot, then. What are you doing in the swamp? Nothing special, same thing every boy gets up to, I reckon. Do I want to know what that is? I ain't telling anyways. Well, what's up there, then? Oh, it ain't anything, swear it, you don't want to see anything. I do. I want to use the telescope you've got up there. Oh, afraid the telescope's the property of Will Hunter, same as my licorice collection. You mean licorice? Licorice? I'm trying to say them differently. They're just licorice. No, licorice. Wouldn't be called licorice because it ain't made of rice. It's called licorice because you lick it. But I'm saving mine up so as I can lick them all at once. Definitely chew licorice. I don't want to lick it at all. How long have you been saving your licorice? Reckon it's been a few months. It's okay to wait a few months on licorice as long as it's refrigerated good and proper. Have you refrigerated it? It's in my pocket with some ice, so I reckon so. Can you let me up? No adult ever been in Will Hunter's treehouse, and I ain't fixing to break that streak, not for nothing. Just climb the tree. Come on, you need to let me up. That's so? Well, what's in it for Will? Aiding my vital mission against the forces of evil? You like meat, kid? As much milk as your belly can hold. I can't tell you, it's a secret. Oh, come on, tell me. No, you're not old enough. No, you wouldn't want to know anyways. Alright, basically I want to use the telescope. No, not old enough. Will works this over in silence. Jings! Well, I'm just about itching all over to know what you're up to. Okay, I'll put the ladder down, but you better be telling me what you're doing, alright? Without waiting for you to confirm the deal, you get the sense that Will Hunter character would get crushed in a courtroom. A rickety wooden ladder unspools from the treehouse down the tree's trunk. Climb on up. Why, there's no boy in this treehouse at all. Only the large and sagging features of a human face sunk into the tree's very trunk. Surely that can't be young Will Hunter. Oh, well, I reckon now tain't no keeping you from seeing my plight. I be wicked, mister. I been wicked. What happened to you? Tain't much to tell. That can't possibly be true. The great tree sighs, shedding scraps of bark that drift to the treehouse floor. Well, you ever hear of a doctor? Don't you know what that is? Yes, well, I know what a doctor is. Heck, what do you want to be so mean for? I reckon most people you go and ask, they could tell you one thing about what a doctor does. Couldn't. I only ever met one doctor, Dr. Weiss, lived on the same street as my step-aunt. 'Twas one morning he paid me 6 bits to paint his fence, and well, heck, I swear I was fixin' to do it, mister, but I heard there was an interesting trout down the river. A little wider than average, but not very wide, just the way Will Hunter likes. How can a boy resist, the river's wideness or the trout's wideness? No, I agree, you needed to go catch a slightly wide trout. Weren't gonna catch it, mister, only measure it from my notes on trout width. Anyways, Dr. Weiss he weren't real pleased, and to teach me a lesson, he went and cursed me to be a tree. How did this doctor turn you into a tree? Oh, was he a witch doctor rather than Dr. Wiss? What lesson were you supposed to learn from this? That I ought to paint fences if I say I'm fixin' to. And how did he do this? Don't ask Will Hunter how, all I know is doctors, they got all kinds of powerful tools, tweezers, height chart, could have used anything. Can you end this curse? Well, the doctor told me I'd be a tree till I could make good by painting a bunch of fences all around town. Hard enough for me to do that like this, I'll tell ya. Well, maybe I could do that for ya. Oh, Mr. Paint Fences? You wouldn't want to do that. What do you give me for it? Say, that's a thought. Why, I got all sorts of treasure, mister. From gold bars to them pirate coins. If you help me out on this one, I'll give you the most valuable thing I own. A crystal. Okay, I'll do it. The wind picks up and snaps a few weak twigs, but Will doesn't seem to mind. Say, that's real swell. Thanks a lot, mister. That doc who cursed me had a nice white picket fence, and he said something like Will Hunter gotta paint 3 more fences just like it or he'll be a tree forever. Paint 3 fences. Got it. You got my paints and brush out of my knapsack. I'd just hand them to you, but I'm a tree. Well, I'll see you around, Will. I'll do my best to take care of that in a timely manner. It's a Huck knapsack, the favored brand of rascals and imps like Huck Finn, I guess. Will's paint and brush. It's a can of whitewash to be used only for the painting of fences and not the covering up of uncomfortable truths. All I can think of is it's from Futurama, and it's like the episode with the big brain, and they start traveling in the books, and it cuts to like the brain painting a fence, and he's what is the Huck Finn? Is that the right name I'm looking for? He's Huck Finn, you tricked me. This is less fun than was previously indicated. I'm questioning the name so heavily. Take care of those, will you? The long-handled brush belonged to a grandfather. Yours? No, don't think so. I'll keep an eye out for three fences. Much obliged. Old Will Hunter went and got himself metamorphosed into a bald cypress. That's unfortunate for a young child to be made bald in the prime of his life. When he reaches a certain age, a boy loses his enthusiasm for hoarding rocks in a treehouse. This is called the death of innocence. The telescope is a gateway lens that often leads to the use of binoculars. You see nothing out of the ordinary. Rivers run around the trunks of trees, crawdads and crawmoms make love upon the rocks, and a duck is impaled on the beak of a heron. Here in the swamp, it is a day like any other, and the circle of life turns on and on. Wow, was there ever not a lot to do here? I haven't found any fences yet. Keep looking. Sometimes I find a fence turns up in the last place you'd expect, but more often the reverse is true. That they're kind of everywhere and exactly where you would expect them to be. That makes more sense. Sounds more likely to me. Reminds me of Cactus Bill, or whatever his name was in West of Loathing. Was just a dude who was turned into a cactus. A burly hunter trudging through the mud gives a holler. As he nears, you see he's toting a shotgun under one arm and carrying a pile of gator hides over a shoulder. What are you doing? Swamp's no place for a little boy. Gators will eat you alive. Take this. Get yourself a seat on the next bus out. Well, that's not enough money for the bus. Fine. Take that and take more and go. I'm not a little boy, by the way. I thought he was just going to give me all the hides I needed. Rah, find food. You take. Oh, thanks. Where did you find this? Hole. Can you No, shut up. Okay, thanks, Alphonse. You're a real boon to this team. All of a sudden, you hear a gator man screaming wildly to your left. Is it Alphonse? And then, just as suddenly, another gator man starts screaming to your right. What the? Then you hear an angry snarl behind you and turn around. Another gator man. Oh no. Oh yes, and then you hear someone say, ugh, behind you, and you turn around again, and another gator man. You're surrounded. Well, crap. Stand very still and hope they leave. They do not leave. Well, they do, eventually, but not before beating the crap out of you. You gain the effect twitchy. It's hard to see where you're going when you keep looking over your shoulder like that. Dang it, I thought that would... I guess I'm just supposed to fight in those scenarios. I thought like I was opening up a fun potential thing. You briefly lose track of where you're going because all of these big wet trees look the same. You stumble across a ramshackle dwelling bearing the unmistakable aroma of illicit distillation. A moonshiner's cabin. That'll be a whole other thing, again, probably. Suddenly, silently, a flock of shadowy bats fly up out of the swamp, leaving not a single ripple on the surface of the water as they do so. It is quite frankly the gothiest thing you've ever seen in your life, and you've probably fought actual vampires by now. Most definitely I have. But I guess the game didn't track that for certain. I feel slightly offended that the game has taken such a low interest in the happenings of my day-to-day adventurings. You won! Get back to your Bauhaus album cover, you stupid bats. I actually don't know that band. I assume it's real. A geyser of swamp gas erupts nearby with a loud I guess sound and brownish yellow cloud. I won't bother trying to describe the smell. I'm sure you can imagine it for yourself. A large swarm of stink bugs quickly arrive and start zooming around inside the gas cloud. It's unclear if they're attracted by the smell or if they're refilling their stink bags or whatever. But when that cloud dissipates, you're probably going to have a lot of unwanted attention. I'm going to toss a match in there. That sounds awesome. A scented candle might be more appropriate, but a match will have to do. Vroom! The swamp gas ignites in a bright green ball of flame, and the stink bugs comet away, doing impressions of very short-lived fireflies. Well, that was quite a magnificent, explosive conclusion to that little attempted interaction there. I left myself in kind of like a wonky in-between where I didn't want to start the next thing in case it's opened up a whole big path. Classic problem. So I guess I'm just going to wrap things up there. Don't forget to pitch me on some episode titles. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.